And welcome back to episode 9 of the Recap Room podcast. I have my sunglasses on my shirt. I'm going to put them over here. Don't need those for the next little bit. The best episode yet, though, as we always say, because each episode we keep getting better and better and better. I'm joined along by my two co-hosts, the best people around, the best team around. We got Sasha, we got Gordy. What's up, guys? How are you doing? You laugh every time I say this. Is there something wrong with my introduction?
No, it's so funny though.
I feel like a radio host when I'm doing it.
Exactly what you sound like.
I feel like Howard Stern. How are you guys doing though?
That's exactly what you sound like. I'm good. I'm great.
Just came back from.
I was just in Florida over the weekend.
Looking nice and tan.
A little. I hope so because it's probably the only tan I'll be getting for the whole summer.
No, it looks. It's important to get that vitamin D, get that sunlight.
That's right. It was great because when I first stepped out into the sun, I was like see-through. It was awful.
Yeah, but you tan quick.
No, yeah,
I did tan pretty quickly. I was there for my little brother's bar mitzvah.
Mazel tov.
Thanks,
yeah,
guys.
mazel tov to him. Mazel tov to
Mazel
Dean.
tov.
Thanks. He's the best. He did so well. It was so cute. And I can't believe he's so old.
Did you have like deja vu moments
Oh,
when you were there? You're like transported back to you at 13. You're like watching all the kids jump around.
Snowball.
No, I was watching them and I was like, did we really all look that stupid?
But the best part
it wasn't
is
stupid. It was just like
it's cute.
so cute. Like I didn't
Wholesome.
feel it was so like
Take this with a grain of salt, but like it's really the last time when you think about it. It's like the last time you really have like a wholesome, fun party without any sort of like extra substances and think about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's just a straight party. I mean,
Yeah.
granted, that's not what the bar mitzvah is about. I get it. It's more.
It's
than
adulthood.
that.
Yeah.
But at the party after, it's like you're with all your friends. There's no alcohol. Hopefully, if there is, then it's a little concerning. But yeah, but I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I'm
it
glad
was
you had
so
a good
fun.
time. I
It
think it was
was-
much needed for you too to be with your family and stuff.
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I haven't gone home and I literally don't know the last time I went home. When did I
Yeah,
go?
it's been so long.
Wow.
I don't know.
It's probably a few months.
Like December.
Oh,
Holy
yeah,
cow.
that's crazy, but it's important.
it
That's
was
like
great.
the most important.
I got to see
Very
my
important.
doggies and my whole family, which is wonderful, but also so stressful.
It's a mix.
Yeah, but it was great. Anyway, Cordy, how was your weekend?
Yeah, how was yours?
Actually,
I
I
can't
will
top
say
that.
thank you to both of them because I got to go because they were both here and they helped me out while I was gone.
I always say, as long as two of us are here, one of us can go anywhere we need
Yeah,
to be,
it was
because
easy.
that's the purpose of having a team.
Yeah.
Like we help each other out.
Yeah.
You know, always. Gordy,
How was your weekend?
how was your weekend?
It was good. I just did a lot of showings. Little GTL.
Gym tan laundry.
Yeah.
I was like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
You don't know GTL? Come
now
on.
I do.
Gym tan laundry. No, pretty much a lot of showings this weekend, but the weather was beautiful, so I wasn't even like bothered by it.
No.
I loved it. I was walking around everywhere and enjoying it.
Yeah. You rode your bike. You had a little. You had a bike moment though.
I did.
Share your bike moment.
I like to ride a road bike. For those of you that know what it is, it's not a children's bike. Same for kids. All right, you're clipped into this bike, and I was riding it, and I didn't realize I had a flat tire, and I'm going around. See, this is mischievous laughing over here. I'm going around this turn, and it like burst. My tire burst, my front wheel, and it just basically it slipped out from under me. You're literally strapped in.
Yeah,
so
you're
when you
clipped in.
launch yourself, you can't brace anything. So I luckily fell on the grass, but I ate shit.
Yeah,
Like I like Scorpion. Like, you know, when you're like, you go down, your neck goes back.
Yeah.
You know, I could have gotten seriously injured here.
Sasha's dying laughing about this.
And I was just like laying there, like in like a fetal position, like in pain.
As Sasha's dying laughing about you being in.
No, but I'm
horrible
fine. Don't
pain.
worry. I'm all good. You know, I'm glad you had a great weekend celebrating in the sun, all this stuff.
Gordy was in the fetal position on the side of Route
Literally,
83.
like my wrist is messed up, and my neck. I literally have like, you know, when you're like trying to turn right and you have to like look to your left to see the cars come. I can't even look, so I just go. Like I don't even look.
That makes so much sense.
Well, I'm glad you're
'cause
doing
we were
better.
on a walk yesterday. The three of us went on a walk yesterday. It was like a 20-minute walk, but not even like a 10-minute
Yeah, it was
walk.
quick.
Yeah, it was a fast walk. 20 minutes.
Brisk.
But Gordy, I was like, oh, look at that car. It was like a pink Tesla. And he goes,
Yeah. He turns his whole body.
I can't turn my neck. Like, I mean, thankfully I have a massage gun. Last night was just laying in bed just drilling my neck.
Yeah.
It was good. No, I'm glad.
It seems like you're feeling better. I'm glad Sasha got enjoyment out of your pain. At least there's one good thing to come out of it. I have to share a story, though.
Your weekend.
About not even my weekend, but I also shared a level of pain because last night I was putting away my dishes and I dropped a bowl and it shattered and cut my toe wide open. So
no way.
This is my Jordan.
Show your toe off.
Can't
show them off for free.
No free feet pics in
here.
No free feet pics. But I did cut my toe wide open. It was bleeding all night, but I think I healed myself okay.
Do you remember when we were living together freshman year and you had that toe thing?
Oh, dude, my feet are so screwed up because I think I either wear the improper shoes, like I'm always working out in them, and then it caused like. I'm not going to get into the details.
No, but remember when you broke your toe? Remember when you broke your toe?
I broke it before.
And it was like we went to the Bulls game, and you're like, "Man, my toes really hurt." And we're sitting in the car.
How did you break your toe?
He like, what'd you do?
I was rushing to get out of the house to go to the Bulls game with Gordy because he's like last minute Bulls tickets, courtside seats. Of course, I'm going to go to that.
Not a big deal.
Yeah, not a big deal. Is that good? And I was rushing to get my clothes on. I was putting on a button down. I wanted to look fly because we're going to be courtside. You never know who's going to see me on the camera. And I stubbed my pinky toe on the edge of this couch, and I knew right away it was broken. But I was like, whatever, it hurt, but I was like, whatever.
And we had to walk around.
We couldn't walk around. I was hobbling on it, and then I looked in the car. I took my sock out. The thing was just straight purple.
It was disgusting.
I broke my toe also a year ago. I think I told
So why did you? How did you break your toe? Well, how did you break your toe?
Well, it was before I worked with you guys. I was at a different job where I did a lot of physical labor, and I was pulling a pallet of probably 100 cases of High Noons. I worked at a beverage company. Anyway, one of the beverages was High Noons.
Thank you for clarifying.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Her last job was just drinking alcohol.
Yeah, she was drinking. She was pulling a pallet. Thank you for clarifying that.
Okay. Well, I didn't know.
She's like Terminator though. That's heavy.
But I literally was pulling it. And I wasn't looking, and somebody was pushing it from the other end.
And you rolled over.
And it rolled over my foot.
Oh, that's worse than mine.
Pallets are heavy too.
Yeah, that's worse than mine.
And my toe was actually black and purple. It was awful.
Yeah.
I was like, am I going to lose circulation?
Yeah, but the good part is it heals pretty quick. At least mine did.
Yeah, but I actually have never felt more pain in my life.
Actually?
I've never broken a bone, so I don't know. But I literally was winded. I couldn't. But I was with another coworker that I didn't know that well at the time. Now we're besties. He knows who he is. But I remember in that moment I was like, I'm fine. I swear.
Just crying through the pain. That was that was Gordy during his incident on the bike. He was just crying through the pain.
Thank God I was wearing a helmet and everything.
Yeah, safety comes first.
I landed hard.
But I do have to say, Gordy is an absolute overall, just a workhorse. This kid is everywhere.
What?
Yeah.
Everywhere. I'll run into him, and people may not believe this, but I'll let you go first about your story, what just happened with Gordy, and then I'll share my story over the weekend with him because he lives in the suburbs, but he's always in the city for work. He's literally everywhere.
I'm always watching.
Yeah.
No, seriously. For example, yesterday we were in the office in the morning, the three of us. We do a little Wednesday meeting, and I was like, yeah, I have a showing later today, whatever. I'm on my showing. With my clients, they're looking at the place, and then the listing agent was like, hey, do you mind if we just let another listing agent come on up? He just is a little late and needs to come in. He's just taking a virtual tour. Shocker. Guess who walks in? Cordy.
PC principal with his huge muscles. Yeah. And he walks in, and then everybody's like, if any of our clients, which they probably do, follow us, they're like,
What's he doing here?
He works with you. What's he doing here? Over the weekend, I was covering a showing for Sasha. I'm there a little bit early. I look inside the glass, into the windows of the building, and I see just an outline of some short, stocky, brawny guy waving at me. And I'm like, that's Gordy with his clients. He's literally everywhere. The kid doesn't stop. I don't think he sleeps.
No.
I don't think he's literally just constantly going.
I just charge up. I'm like a Tesla. You know, I'd plug in.
You go in your bed, recharge, wake up, ready to roll. I don't think you think. I think you just do. Which
Yeah.
honestly probably like it's a really good thing.
I mean this past weekend and week I literally was, because it was just running around and I couldn't like. Sometimes you can organize your showings where it's like, all right, I'm going to spend few hours in Lakeview, then I'm going to go to West Loop. Like I could not do that. I had to go like it's hard.
Yeah.
So I had to go back and forth. So yeah, I kind of was a little bit everywhere, but it was
respect.
Yeah,
respect. Shout out G-Man.
Yeah, and he took some of my showings on top of that. So
Dude.
I had a great time. I was having so much fun.
Weekend.
He was enjoying it.
I love it.
I love smile on his face the whole time. But I think for this episode, we can do a little, I guess you could say conversation, a little game that we're going to play. And we're going to be as unfiltered, within reason, obviously, as we can. I want to, from a realtor's perspective, because we get to go all over Chicago. That's one of the biggest benefits, I think, of this job.
Yeah.
You get to see parts of the city that you would never really go to. I mean, think about it. If you live in a specific neighborhood, rarely do you really venture out of that neighborhood. When you're in real estate, you get to know the city like the back of your hand. You get to know all the ins and outs of it. You get to know...
What's the back of your hand, though? Is it this or this?
Not relevant. No, that is a good question. No, the back of your hand's the top part.
Why would it be
Wait,
this?
why would it be that? But that would be the front, because you're staring right at the front.
No, I think I think I'm right on that. I think the top part of your hand.
So this is the dumbest conversation.
The knuckles.
Top is the back.
I will say though, I know that you're right, because I don't have to use the GPS a lot of the time anymore.
Yeah, you've gotten a lot better with that. I mean, I think it's inevitable.
Yeah.
Eventually, you just kind of get really good at learning the city.
Thank you.
But I want to dive into our perspective, since we do know the city so well, or at least I like to think so. What are the actual, genuine, not media portrayed spins on what the pros and cons of Chicago are? Because as we all know, there's a reason why they have their opinions and whatnot. I want boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground.
Yeah, that's what we are. Boots on the ground, honest pros and cons of Chicago. I guess the way we could structure this is we'll start off with a pro. Mm-hmm. We'll each go to a pro, and then we'll all do a con and kind of keep rotating
All right,
it.
you go first.
This is an obvious one, but I'm going to say it. The cuisine, the food here is second to none. I'm not super well traveled, but pretty well traveled. Say overall for a 24-year-old.
Like in the United States.
Yeah, in the United States.
I have to say.
Yeah, I mean there's
no better.
The food is insane.
I've been to a lot of places, again, not outside of the country really, so I can't speak on that, but in the United States, like, dude, Chicago's culinary options are second to none. It's not just that like, oh, you have a good option in Chicago. It's like each neighborhood, you have a 5-star restaurant of practically every cuisine you could ever want.
Yeah.
Like, it's
and
incredible.
they're like authentic for the most part.
Yeah.
Because
it's not like chains. It's not just like chains coming here.
Well, because Chicago is such a cultural melting pot. You have so many people that live in Chicago that aren't from Chicago that bring their
I'd say most people.
Yeah. So you get all these different cuisines that you would like never explore and never really think to like what the hell is. I don't know. Just pick anything.
Literally any cuisine ever. And it's so funny because now I like travel home.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'll just Uber Eats later, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll look, and there's like 4 options. And I'm like, where am I right now?
It's like the gas station, Wendy's, 7-Eleven. Like,
yeah.
Like it's like Wawa.
Yeah.
And then, which
In-N-Out
we don't
Burger.
have here.
Yeah.
You guys have In-N-Out Burger?
Not in Florida. That's a West Coast thing.
Overrated.
Oh, I like it.
I like In-N-Out Burger.
Overrated.
But yeah, I mean that's my first number one pro of this. I mean, and I would consider myself a foodie, so it's just incredible. And sometimes I think I even forget how lucky I am and how lucky we are to have those options.
100%.
Sasha, give us a pro.
Okay. Wasn't thinking about it, honestly.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay, a pro. I'm trying to like stray away from like that kind of thing, so I'm gonna
do whatever you want.
A little more niche.
No rules. We make the rules. That's the beauty of this.
I think a pro is like the people here.
Nice.
It could go both ways, I guess, depending on the day.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like visiting other places and versus coming here, it's a very like we're the only like Midwestern metropolitan city.
Mm-hmm. Big one.
We got that Midwest nice, you know? And I think it shows. And, you know, the best part too is like we really appreciate the weather. Like when it's warm, everyone is outside.
Everyone's buzzing.
And everyone is so happy.
There's a reason why people say like Chi-Town summer, Chicago summer.
It's crazy because
we have all 4 seasons. People are literally pent up in their house.
I feel like we have 2, but
whatever.
That's for another conversation.
We have 2. Even still, the point still remains. People are pent up for so long. You can only keep the dog in the cage for so long before it wants to get out. Yeah. Before it wants to get out.
They both do this every day.
What? I never do this.
What are you talking about?
I never bark at anybody.
But yeah, that's a really good one. I think the people here are again, not to shit talk other cities, but like Midwest people, it's true. They're nicer.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They are.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, guys.
Meh.
There's a little Midwest charm.
Go ahead.
40 pro.
I mean, I'm just speaking from my perspective. The sports in Chicago. You can't.
No.
Hold on.
I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna spin zone this in a good way because we're lovable losers. Like we love.
We still love our team.
We love our teams even when we suck. Like I mean, I've been through hell and back with every sports team. I mean, if you're a White Sox fan right now, you hate your life.
Yep.
If you're a Bears fan right now, you love your life. If you're a Bulls fan, you probably don't even watch anymore. If you're a Cubs fan, you love your life. And if you're, I don't know, Chicago Fire fan, you need to open up to more sports. No offense to the soccer fans.
Broaden your horizons. No.
I'm just saying, but the sports, like, yes, we do suck, but there was a time period, like, when the 90s Bulls were going on. Like, this city was... hold on. The city was thriving. Like, it was. And now it's like, we do reminisce on the past, like, the 85 Bears, the 90 Bulls. I mean, the Cubs, there's no reminiscing there.
The Blackhawks when we were, like, in high school.
Yeah. I've got the Hawks. I feel horrible. Hawks, 3 Stanley Cups. That was a good one, too.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think the
Dynasty.
sports, the dynasties here, like, it was, like, peak.
Yeah.
Like I don't think anybody could beat that. It was
I'd say
incredible.
the only pro right now to that is the culture around it. Like we all still love them and we
100%.
still go, and the hype is the same.
Yeah.
But we know we're like, well, yeah, we're gonna lose probably.
I mean, it's fun.
But yeah, it's so fun losing.
I love going to the Bears Saints game 2 years ago when we lost by 30 and I left after the third quarter. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a lot has to do with the history of these franchises too. A lot of these franchises are so like historic and so ingrained in not just Chicago's history, but like, hate to say it, America's history. Like these are the Bears are a legendary franchise.
Yeah.
The Blackhawks are an original 6 franchise.
The Bears are an original franchise. Like in the Hawks,
I didn't even know that. I only know the Hawks.
I wasn't sure about the Hawks original 6, but yeah,
the Hawks are an original 6. Like these are historic franchises that, whether you like it or not, are ingrained in the fabric of this country.
100%.
And I'm not even being hyperbolic saying that. Like, it's the truth.
I mean, the Cubs too, same thing. Like, 108 years without a world. Like, people were dying for a World Series. So it's like, it is, and I think that kind of ties into your point about, like, the people. Yeah. Like, people who even, like, there's people who are tourists that come here to watch, like, the Bulls, like, or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Because, they learned about it across the world just from,
All right. Your turn. Cons.
I will start off with a con.
Oh gosh.
And these are where they're gonna inevitably start some controversy.
I got some good cons.
And I'm at the point now where I really could care less. If you don't agree with me, you don't have to. This city is managed and I say this with so much love because it could be so much better. It is managed so poorly for so long. It hasn't always been like this, but I don't care where your political leanings are. Mm-hmm. The last 2 mayors that we've had in Chicago are abysmal. Right. Like, these are the best we could come up with to run our big cities. These people, I wouldn't want them running a Wendy's, let alone a big city. Okay?
Yikes.
These people, and I'm being completely honest about this. And I know people will get upset and people have their opinions. That's fine. And you don't
everybody's
everyone's entitled to their own opinion. This is my opinion. Opinions are like a-holes. Everybody's got one. Most of them stink. But honestly, like, the city is, I truly believe it's a testament to how resilient the city is, because I still think it's the greatest city in the world, even despite having such poor leadership and management from the top. Mm-hmm. But that's why I say this with love, because we could literally be, in my opinion, even greater. Like, there's such a limit, there's such a level that we haven't gotten to, that we could have the amazing culinary cuisine with. It's not like we have to have one and not the other. We could have amazing food, amazing transportation, amazing roads, little crime, all these different things. We could have our cake and eat it too if we wanted to. But instead, we elect people who, for whatever reason, are beholden to interest groups that have nothing to do with the common man.
No.
Like nothing to do with helping normal people succeed. They may frame it as such, but they don't give a crap. They care about themselves. They care about people who are funding their campaigns. They care about the people who are putting them into positions of power. And what ends up happening is you get poor leadership. And what are the effects of that? I know I'm going on a tangent here, but you get, I hate to say it, nobody wants to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it. Horrible crime. The crime in Chicago is, and I know there's ways, statistics, people say crime's going down. Regardless, okay? I know this personal experience from when I first moved into the city in 2018 to when I live here now. There's
actually no comparison, which is crazy. I think I used to like, Mom, Dad, don't yell at me. Yeah. But I used to like walk around at night. Yeah. Like I felt so safe when we first moved here in 2018, or like the first 2 years. And then I think after like the first 2 years, I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't do that. And then like I had night classes in college. Like they would end at 9 p.m. It's pitch black outside, especially like in the winter. And it would be all the way down like in the city. I'd have to take the train. Probably it was like a 35-ish minute commute. But like by myself, I mean, as a girl too, you know, I always have to be like vigilant.
For sure.
But at the same time, like it felt from the first year to like the last year of college, like a whole difference.
Yeah, it's a different ball game. And again, I don't want to feed into there's also like a level of media propaganda that feeds this fear, right? Like, trust me, you walk around most days, middle of the day in Chicago, you're going to be totally fine.
It's when you're out late, like,
it's just like, it's little things. It's like people don't, from my perspective, they feel like there's no repercussions, so why would they stop? They feel like they're emboldened to go out and do these things, and you cannot have a function that, like, look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The top of that is safety and security and all those, you know, like that's what people can stomach paying high taxes. They could stomach the high cost of living, even though Chicago, relatively speaking, is low. But they can stomach all these things if at least they feel safe. Mm-hmm. It's when people don't feel safe that all hell breaks loose. So long tangent, but I say it out of a complete place of love because I love Chicago. It's home to me. And I know we could be doing so much better.
I agree.
But
I totally agree. Yeah. I think it is the literally the best city.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I always say like if Chicago had like California weather, it would actually be the best city in the entire world.
Yeah.
Hands down. I wouldn't even argue that. Like I would put all my money on that. Mm-hmm. I don't have that much, but I'll put it all in for that.
All chips in.
But no, I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
It's been a very big change since we first moved here. But I do think that there is, well, I know there's definitely room for improvement in a lot of it.
Yeah.
And there always is room
but, for improvement. But, we'll see what happens as to.
We need Blagojevich back. I used to get a picture with him at every, like, I don't know, Cubs game I went to, the few that I did. I love that guy.
Blagojevich was he was governor, right? He wasn't. Yeah, I don't think he was mayor.
Governor, but he had a little money laundering issue. We can
Gordy money launders all the time.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Who cares? I'm kidding. I pay my taxes. I pay all my taxes.
That's a complete joke, guys. By the way,
people are gonna be like, I don't know if I can do this.
Like, this is just going off the rails. But yeah, out of love, I say with complete love, and I still think Chicago is the best no matter what. So.
You know what? One of the cons I was going to say was kind of going to tie into that because I think that this has also gotten a little bit worse since I first moved here. So I have a car in the city. This is a pro and a con, but like also more a con. Like if you don't need a car, please don't bring it.
Yeah.
Please,
oh my God.
Just don't. It's stupid. I like used to just have a car down here just to like have one. Why? I don't know. Now I need one. Now I pay so much money for parking, but what I was gonna say is the cameras.
Oh my God!
On the road specifically that I live on, I've lived in the same apartment for the last almost 3 years. I've lived there for 3 years. And they added 3 more cameras on the same road that I live on. Like, I'm not gonna say which road I live on.
Yeah,
but
any of you weirdos out there, you're not getting a hold of that address.
I'm moving anyway. But on this road, there was like one that I knew of because I got a couple tickets there, and
shocker.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Okay.
Oh, look who's talking over there, Mr.
I'm a parking ticket guy. I'm not a speeding guy.
Oh yeah, like it makes a difference.
I mean, they know who I am.
No, it's
That's
like a
worse.
red
That's
light
laziness.
camera and like stuff. Okay, first of all, the yellow lights in Chicago are a millisecond.
Yeah.
A millisecond.
Like,
So-
you know, when you're turning left, you're just like, everybody's getting, it's like click, 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 click.
Yes. But on this road, so like the road that I take from my place to the highway, like if I'm trying to like go to the suburbs, this road is the one that added literally 3 more lights in 3 years.
I know which road you're talking about, I think.
Yeah. I mean, Cordy's driven to my place all the time. But what was I going to say? The city doesn't even own those.
No.
No, it's a okay, wait. I don't want to get clipped again, so I'm not going to act like I...
Gordy's gonna not. Yeah.
Winston Churchill owns them.
But yeah, Winston Churchill.
I swear there is a company that owns
Churchill's
it.
family.
Yeah. I'm not trying to get clipped again, but there is definitely a company that like.
Well, I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
swooped in.
I don't know if it's the speed. I know for a fact
The parking
meters are not owned by the city of Chicago. It was a contract from some overseas company.
I know where it is.
Whoever
I know
that
where it
is, you're
It's
a
like-
genius,
it's like
but also
Dubai
I
or
hate you.
something.
Yeah, but I don't know about the speeding cameras. That I'm not sure about.
So yeah, Dubai, if you're listening to this or watching this, I'm watching you, buddy. You give me another parking ticket, I'm coming for you, buddy.
I actually was funny story. Sorry, this is also a tangent, but I was at home. My car is still like listed under my parents' address. So anytime I get like a parking ticket or anything like that, it gets sent home.
Oh.
So like on occasion, too many occasions, like my dad will send me a text
every
being like,
day.
you got another present. But while I was there, I was at my grandma's house, and I don't know how she got this mail, but she got like a piece of mail from Chicago at her house, and she was like, hey, like give this to your dad, like he needed this mail. And I was like, can I see what it is first? And I look at it, and it was like a notice of determination because I forgot to pay one.
Oh god.
Oh god, you were gonna get the boot.
Yeah, you were gonna get.
You know, it's bad. It's bad. Okay, anyway, I paid it, guys.
I'm not gonna lie. If I would have woke up to a text in our group chat with just a picture of Sasha's car,
I got a boot on my car.
You did get a boot on your car.
I almost fought this guy.
Yeah, Gordy almost.
I actually was about to fight this guy.
Gordy, do you know on the parking app, on the Chicago parking app, they now say when you open it, or at least they did the last couple weeks. When you open it, it says like if you fight a meter maid or like the parking meter, which is like the parking meter people, like there's a big fine for it because I guess there was a problem of people fighting with the parking meter.
I've
people.
definitely done that.
It was probably because of Gordy. Gordy got a boot on his car and was literally about to fight this person.
But I had to hold myself back
mad, it's scary.
because I my client was in the car and this guy's like yelling at me like. Yeah, no, like I have you on camera. I'm like, I don't care if you have me on camera. I'm about to whoop your ass. Yeah. Like I was literally like, but I was flipping out. Like,
but
this is Gordy's last day.
But I don't understand why why you didn't just get a ticket and they went right to the boot. Like that's like.
Because it wasn't.
That's like going instead of like putting you in handcuffs. It was
predatory.
That's like immediately putting somebody lifetime in prison.
I parked in a McDonald's parking lot. And I had to just run because I'm like, I need to get into this place. And there's no parking anywhere. I'm like, all right, it's going to be 30 seconds. I'm in and out. He's standing out there like, he just won, the golden ticket. He's going to the chocolate factory. Now he's going to the fist factory. Like, I was pissed.
This happened to me once, too.
I was so mad. It did?
Yeah. Well, not me, but I was like in the car with a friend. And we were getting small cheval.
Oh.
And literally like parked. Small Cheval, literally, we ordered the food.
Yeah.
Walked up to get the bag of food and walked back to the car. So this whole ordeal, a minute and a half, like at most. I don't think this took even more than 2 minutes. Like I literally like walked, grabbed it, and I could see my car, like the car the whole time. This freaking cop was watching, put a boot on the car, Wild.
It was a cop?
All in a minute. Yeah, I was a cop.
Wait,
and I
no.
was like, I'm not paying for this. Not
way.
happening. And then we ended up paying for it, and it was like $170.
Yeah, that's what I had.
So
to
that
pay.
was
It
the
crazy.
most expensive burger I ever ate.
Yeah. That is a
Good way of putting it.
That's a very, very expensive burger.
And
That wasn't
it was
even
the first time I went to Small Cheval.
Never going back again.
I literally was like, I'm okay without it. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'll just stick to. I prefer Shake Shack.
Wow.
This is a controversial
That is
opinion.
No
there.
way. I would ever
Small
prefer.
Cheval.
Sorry, guys.
Gordy,
Go
what's,
ahead.
what's your con?
My con, another one that relates directly to me. For those of you who live in the suburbs and drive to the city every day, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The construction in Chicago is some of the worst. I can't even explain it. It's like, you know how you said the city's terribly run? This is terribly run. Whoever's managing this is terrible. I mean, this is horrible.
I've never seen people working on it.
They don't work on it. Every day I'm
It's
driving
just
on there, it's like
cones.
they go, nightly lane closures. Okay, so I'm assuming they're coming out there to go do work. No, there's no one out there. They're just closing off lanes for no reason. Or in the morning, it takes me an hour and a half to sometimes 2 hours to get down here. Like it is awful. And they're whatever they're doing, they're like fixing bridges. Who cares? Get rid of them.
This is
You know,
why
like
Of course, it's just who needs them?
we need these express lanes back.
You
And
just
they're
swim.
yeah. And then you said today they're doing more construction on Lakeshore Drive now.
They are.
So that's another 5 years.
It does take a very long time, and there's always some sort of construction, but it's always like in the places that I don't think need it.
Yeah.
Like I drive on like small like side streets with like where the potholes are like
Just-
gonna
yeah.
break my entire car in half. But no, we need to fix like the little pebble falling off on Lakeshore. So
But if they could fix this in like an efficient manner, I think it would help. It would help a lot in the city of people getting in and out faster.
Like this is where it kind of goes back to how things are run. It's like the tough part is there's not like when these are a lot of people that are being hired by the government to fix these roads, right?
Yeah.
The incentive isn't there because they want to do it for longer so they make more money. That's
Correct.
not a bad thing. That's just human nature. Like,
Yeah.
why would you want to make it quicker and more efficient? When it's a government contract, it's to your benefit to make it
longer,
take longer,
yeah.
to have more people working.
I mean, I would do the same.
100%.
Like,
I don't
whatever.
blame
Yeah,
them.
I'm not listening.
But also,
I'm not.
like,
I'm not
come
hating on those people.
No,
I'm just
yeah.
hating on the system in
Yeah.
place. I think it just you don't get anything done in a timely manner. There's no such
Yeah.
thing. Like it's just annoying.
And there's a certain inevitability to it. Like, you do want the roads, obviously. I'm not saying we don't want, like, we need the roads paved.
we don't need bridges. Get rid of them.
Gordy's
yeah,
like,
let's just
blow 'em
swim
up.
across.
I mean, seriously, like we're all gonna be in flying cars, you know, in a few years.
You know what? I thought we were gonna be in flying cars like now, okay?
Yeah.
And like now my car's still
Yeah,
broken.
the closest thing we have to flying cars right now is, well, I don't even know. We don't have anything close.
A
to it.
Tesla.
Teslas?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, but trust me, my Tesla ain't flying. This thing's still driving.
But I was saying-
it might be driving itself, but it's still driving.
I don't know, but like you know how like the motorcycles go through like the lanes, like everybody's sitting there and they're just like riding on that
Yeah.
dotted line. I might do that. Like I might get a little moped and just go through it.
You're the last person I
No.
could see on a
No.
moped. You
What about like the Segway? Remember those like those Segways?
you need like a Ford F-150.
I want to get my favorite truck of all time.
You look like a
Ram,
truck guy.
Yeah, Ram TRX. Those things are unbelievable.
Hey, I always feel like Gordy looks like a truck guy because he's like short and brawny. So when he gets out of that, like, do you know how people say like their dogs match like the owners?
Yeah, and like the cars also
the
do.
cars do. Gordy is like
A truck guy.
Gordy's like a wide body kid.
Yeah.
truck.
There's only
You
two
give
cars.
me like sports car,
Yeah.
like very very bougie.
Really? Mm-hmm. Very sports car sleek vibes, and Gordy's like,
No, you give me like minivan. Like I'm driving the.
oh yeah, look who's talking over there, minivan.
There's only two
Yo,
cars.
put your
I'll-
sunglasses on.
I-
Then
I-
we'll
I-
go
they're in
private
that
again.
room.
Listen,
They're in that room.
at some point in my life, there's a very good chance that I will be minivan guy. But
I already signed the
not
contract that I'll be driving a minivan once I'm
now.
married.
That's fine,
you know.
and that's fine. It's human.
Jeez.
It's evolution.
I will not be driving a minivan.
I'm not driving. No, she gives me the vibes of like Escalade, Range Rover.
Oh, good. I like that I
like-
give the vibes.
No, she gives the vibes of I'm not even driving this car. I'm having a personal driver drive for me and drop me off.
She actually hires me as the personal driver and just yells at me the whole
Gordy,
time. Why
yeah.
don't you go through that red light? I mean, seriously, like, what are you doing?
Yeah. What do you do? Why would you take this way? Why not that way?
What are you doing? Can you speed up a little bit?
You are the dumbest person.
Yeah.
Literally.
Do you
ever.
know where you're going? I actually
even know.
pay you for this?
I don't even know what to say to this because, like, yeah, that would probably happen. Yeah. I think you guys both already know my dream car. It's probably very far.
Wait,
Yeah.
I definitely know your dream car.
You might have told.
Yeah,
jog my memory.
Yeah, they don't listen to me. So.
I know the dream car.
I just
It's
don't remember.
that Mercedes, that truck.
No.
Oh.
G-Wagon?
Yeah.
G-Wagon.
That's what, yeah. So it is a Mercedes. Gordy's like, oh, it's a Mercedes truck. It was.
It's inevitable to say no to me.
She didn't even have to hear what you said, and it was already a no. It was the right answer, and it was already no. But then I said it, and it was yes.
We're like, oh no, Cap. Oh yes, you're totally right. You're a sweet little angel. Gordy,
good.
What are you? You're like the gum on the bottom of my shoe. I can't get it off. Like,
I love it.
Dude,
It makes-
I was right. I was 100% right, and she's just like, oh no, like it's not my dream. Oh really?
Yeah, I could have said anything. I could have been like, yeah, a smart car.
You
like,
should-
oh my
literally.
God, yeah, I love
I'm
this.
crying right now. I'm crying.
That's my life, guys. I'm wrong when I'm right, and I'm wrong when I'm wrong.
All I heard was truck, and I was like, what the fuck?
No, all you heard was you were literally. She had.
I'm
she was
sorry.
locked and loaded.
I didn't mean to
It's
swear.
okay. You could. Pat will bleep it out.
Okay.
I'll bleep
Wait,
it
what'd
out.
you say?
Sorry, I
The F
swore. I said fudge.
Yeah.
Oh.
She said the F word. Gordy still I've sworn.
I'm literally
I've sworn
crying.
too.
That was
Well, I
actually really
kind of
funny.
did though just now.
It's okay. It's okay. This is I already
'Cause I said I'll whoop your-
when we post this on YouTube. I say not for kids.
I don't
so
say. I will
people-
not say the F word on here because that's really.
You
My
don't
parents
believe
watch this. My mom
Yeah.
watches this.
Good boy.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Love you,
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah. Shout
Guys.
Shout out to
Tammy.
moms.
Let's
Shout
just
out, shout
bleep
out
it out.
Tammy.
Yeah, she followed me on Instagram.
She's the best.
I felt like famous. I love your mom.
I have to block her on Instagram. She sends me a little too many stuff on Instagram, so it's like
The block.
emojis, this and that. I mean, it's great, but we've recently discovered that.
It's very, very.
You wanna hit a pro?
Yeah, give us a pro.
A pro? I would say a pro of Chicago, and this may come as a shock to many of you because people are going to say, what? Chicago is so expensive. Chicago is uber affordable. It is. Chicago yes. Is it as affordable as living in Des Moines, Iowa? No.
Yeah.
Is it as affordable as living in name any podunk town? No. But in comparison to LA, in comparison to New York City and to most big cities, Chicago is. Why are you laughing? Is that wrong? What are you laughing about?
I don't know. She just looked at me and she's like, "Do you know what he's saying?" I'm like, "I have no idea."
What?
I don't know.
What I said does not make sense.
No, I think it was maybe the way you said it. Like you're just like, is it the way you said it?
I want to
Like,
know why
I
I want to know why I'm getting laughed at for saying this. I don't think this is a crazy thought at all.
It's not.
I was just thinking about earlier.
Oh,
What happened earlier?
You know what? You're being tuned out right now.
Wait, what happened earlier?
I'm living in my own reality.
Did I miss something?
Okay, I'm done. I'm so sorry.
I can't. I'm not even looking over.
Oh,
there.
I'll tell you a con. So here's a con right here when you're.
Yeah, when you move to Chicago, you're gonna have to deal
I'm
with
crying.
this.
I can't. Like when I start laughing, I can't stop.
Oh my god.
All right. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Chicago, compared to other big cities, is just it's very affordable.
So like New York City, LA.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it is in comparison to like Austin or say any of these cities, but I think when you think of the three big cities, Sasha
Dude,
literally
this
cannot
is so
stop laughing,
bad.
and it is.
I'm trying to get back on thought. And
It's derailing me to the point where I can't put together a coherent thought.
I'm trying to stare through your soul, and all I'm seeing is this.
Yeah, she may need to excuse herself. We need to have Sasha excuse herself.
She's fine.
I'm good.
You
She was
good?
just thinking about what were you?
I'm
good?
so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. No problem.
He's gonna
Just
yell at me later about this. I can't.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
just-
gonna. No,
And then
I'm
she'll
not.
just yell at me later about it and just be like, "It's actually your fault." At the end of the day.
It all flows from the top down.
I'm in a giggly mood now.
And that's good. That's
Okay,
good.
wait,
I'd
no,
rather you
you're
be in
right.
a giggly mood than a cryy mood. But
Yeah.
you're kind of like both right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you giggling or are you crying?
She's both.
Feeling all the emotions right now, but no, giggly for sure. I just like was crafting.
I-
Have you ever
I-
heard that?
the-
Cry laughing?
Craffing? I've never heard
Yeah.
of it.
What?
She was craffing.
What did you just say? Craffing?
crafting.
Wait, can you keep going? I'm so sorry. I was listening. I just like
no.
couldn't
I mean that's
hold
what
it together.
Chicago in comparison to other big cities is very affordable. It's not really much of has the cost of living in Chicago over the last few years increased? Yes, but what I will say. It's always the best when you get a client that's moving here from LA or moving here from New York
Yeah,
City.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
They call you and they're like,
They're shocked.
Wait, you can literally get, it's like when you talk to these clients that are moving here from these other cities, like you can get a decent 1-bedroom apartment in Chicago in like an A-class neighborhood.
Yep.
For, $2,000, $2,500. I mean, $2,000 depending on it all depends on your expectations of what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But like $2,000, $2,500 in New York City or LA
Gets you nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's like gets you
size of my shoe.
Yeah, it gets you like practically nowhere. So people again, it all comes down to expectations. Like I said, it's not the same as if you're comparing it to middle of nowhere town, but in comparison to other big cities, it's relatively affordable.
Oh, I have such a good pro.
Stays that way.
I have such a good pro. The festivals that they have in Chicago are amazing. I know we all know Lollapalooza, but they have other ones that you wouldn't think about that are just unbelievable that you can go to. I was just at I don't even know the name of it. I was just walking through a festival before a showing. It was awesome. Like a little side street festival? Yeah, like a side street festival. Like those are amazing. Obviously, the big ones are great too. Yeah. But it's like you see, I can't name them all. You probably get. Well, no,
there's a
gajillion little street.
Yeah,
fests.
I mean,
but it's amazing. Yeah. I like it because it's like a city vibe, but then you kind of hone it back. You get like a little bit of like a town vibe. Yeah. I like that.
It's awesome.
I agree.
And Sasha, pro for you?
A pro. Oh.
Unless you don't have one.
No, I'm thinking.
Unless you hate it here.
No, I love Chicago.
I have another pro.
What?
It's White Boy Summer.
Chet Hanks.
Chet Hanks, White Boy Summer. It is. City Boys up.
Again, do you know how I just tuned out Sasha?
Yeah, I'm tuning that out. That's why I literally was like,
yeah, that's why you turned completely to me. All right, Sasha.
Okay, pro. There's so many, but I will say you're right about the festivals. Like Taste of Chicago. I don't even know if they had.
That's what I was thinking of. I couldn't.
Little things like they're happening all the time. You just need there's Facebook chats and stuff, but there's literally something going on all the time.
Yeah.
Even in the winter, they have indoor
What's the
networking events are insane here.
Yeah, that's a good one. Everybody loves that. They love getting the little mugs and
ooh,
Instagram photo.
Yeah.
I don't know. Most of the pros I think here come with the culture.
Yeah.
I already kind of said we talked about people, the food, there's festivals and things to do. I think literally just the vibe of Chicago is very, very different compared to other metropolitan cities in the United States. For example, LA. We are so compact, but still very clean and spread apart.
Yeah.
To where I have friends, whatever, they live west side of Chicago. I live in the north side, but I can get there within 20 minutes.
Yeah. It's got all the great aspects of what you would think of. When you think in an ideal world, what's a perfect big city? Again, management, all the other aside, we've got a lake, which means we've got beaches.
Yeah.
We've got skyscrapers.
Beaches.
It's not a huge city, but it's big enough that you can get a lot of different things, but it's not so big that it's overwhelming.
No. It is not overwhelming. This is something that really was crazy to me. So first moving here, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. This is a huge, this is city girl, you know what I mean? This is crazy.
Oh, but I can't say city boys up.
No, you can't.
No.
City boys up.
But when I moved here, I was frightened. Yeah. After a year, I was like, oh, that's just over there. And this is just over here. And I'll probably know someone everywhere I go now, which is crazy. It's such a big, small city.
Yes.
I don't know how to describe it. I'll go and for example, my older brother now lives in Miami. I'll go to Miami and I'll be like, this place is tiny. I already feel like Chicago is small. Mm-hmm. So I go to another city that's a little smaller and I'm like, I can see across town. This is crazy. Yeah. But it feels so small.
Yeah.
It does, right?
I agree with you. I think once you actually move here, it's it feels small and feels large at the same time. It's like I said, it's the perfect. It has all the aspects in terms of just the actual physical raw nature of Chicago. Mm-hmm. It has all the aspects of a perfect city.
Yeah,
it really does. And
you're making me want to stay.
Well, again, and this is going to kind of wrap everything up here, but everything we just talked about, I can't harp on it enough. It comes from a place of love because we all, I'll speak for all of us, love Chicago. Yeah. We know how amazing this city is and how privileged and lucky we are to be here. And again, we all have our gripes, we all have our things that we may not love, but when it comes down to it, I love Chicago, and I will always love Chicago.
Yeah,
always
I agree.
hold a spot in my heart. No matter if I live here for the rest of my life, if I don't, Chicago will always be home.
I agree.
Always be home.
I agree. I don't even feel like the suburbs are home anymore.
I know.
I haven't lived in the suburbs since I was 18.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm 18.
Yeah. Gordy, what about you? How do you feel? Well, you still feel like the suburbs are home.
I'm a suburbs guy.
Yeah,
I live
guy.
in the suburbs. I do love the city, but like, if I move back down here, I'll flip, easily. No.
Guys, this is a topic of conversation.
Yeah, this has been a very contentious topic.
No.
So I've already dealt with it because Gordy's being annoying.
Just being myself,
My roommate is moving out. All beautiful things. She's moving in with her boyfriend, moving out, and that's wonderful. But that leaves an empty room for me. So I was like, oh no, I need to find a roommate here.
How do you call for help without saying help? What do you do? What's the signal?
Is there Morse code?
And
SOS?
he is an absolutely hard no, will not. I'm a great roommate.
It's literally New Girl. That's literally what it would be.
Yeah.
It would be if you've ever seen the show New Girl, if Gordy moved in with Sasha, it would be New Girl.
Except Gordy would be like,
they would fight constantly.
I mean, this would not work because, okay, I'm just thinking about it from my perspective. And I'm keeping this just where I'm thinking.
I'm moving anyway. It's
She's
over.
moving anyway. It's over with.
It's over with.
Whatever.
It's over with. I'm trying to watch, NHL playoffs.
You can.
The
I don't even
Bears
watch
game. Actually, The Bachelor's on right now. We're gonna have to switch it for a little bit. No, I want to watch Caleb Williams absolutely just dice up the Packers. Okay? No,
what's great is that football's on Sundays, Bachelor's on Mondays.
But Monday Night Football exists.
Oh, you know
See,
what? I have.
This is already not working. You're already seeing.
It's
why
not
this
gonna
dynamic
work.
would not
It's
not going to work.
Okay, whatever. He's
It's
missing
already-
out anyway.
First off, I was cornered in this. I was cornered because I was like, I want to move to the city, logistically speaking, because driving back and forth is terrible. She cornered me. I tried to call for help multiple times. No one answered my call. No one
because he doesn't
answered.
have a better offer. Okay, I have the greatest offer in the world. But anyway,
I got the Fullerton Bridge.
I will say, the pros outweigh the cons here.
Oh, for sure. Not even
very
close.
by a lot.
There's a reason why we did 2 sets of pros and only 1 set of cons.
Yeah, that's right.
Because again, and
I will say that also another con, street cleaning.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I'm just thinking about things where I get
Human nature.
What
too.
are you cleaning?
Again, you can.
We like to complain.
We love to complain.
Yeah.
We're addicted to complain.
We don't like to problem solve. We like to complain.
Yeah, and so when I go on these tangents about how it's very easy to come up with negatives and it's sometimes difficult to come up with positives,
Yeah.
but Chicago's great. If you ever think about moving here or do live here, you know how great it is. It's amazing to me how when I talk to people from other places that move here, and you tune out the media, all the hype about what good, bad, ugly, and you just talk to people that live here, overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah, it is. A lot of the people that I know that moved here for out of state choose to stay here.
Yeah.
100%.
Even if they move from a warmer climate, they still choose to stay here, which crazy to me.
Yeah.
When I take on clients, I have clients that never have been to Chicago. This is their first time moving here, and they're like, "Hey, could you drive us around a little bit and walk around with us? Kind of show us a little bit about the city," because they had obviously they already had they did some whatever. They already thought about what they thought the city was, but when we drove around, we walked around, whole different perspective. They were seeing all these people running and biking around the lake. They went to this restaurant I've never even heard of, and they loved it. It was just amazing to see that, just because, you kind of come in with, you have a thought about what Chicago is without even going there, and then your mind changes like that.
I also will say that I did say it's a big, small city, but no, I've been here now. We've lived here for 7 years.
Crazy.
I definitely have only tried, let's say, 10% of the restaurants or 10% of the things there is to do out here. There's still I don't even think I'd ever be able to get to everything.
No, you can't. You'll never run out of things to do.
Never, which is, I think, that happens in other cities. I feel like. I mean, maybe not New York. I've never been to New York, so I can't even say anything. But I do know. I will know that Chicago is much cleaner than New York.
That is true.
I don't even need to go there to tell you that.
Yeah.
Chicago is so clean. I'm sure there's rats here and there. Yeah, they're in the alley, but they're my friends.
Yeah, you become friends with the rats. Shout out the rats.
Shout out rats.
This was a lot of fun. And again, I can't say it enough. Chicago is a great city. Everything about it. There's obviously, again, it's very easy to find negatives. That's part of what we did today. But the pros 1,000% outweigh the cons. And Chicago, we love you. We love you. And to everybody who's listening, we love you even more.
Love you.
Love you guys.